Hey everybody, it's PJ and the puppies. So it's after 5 o'clock and I kept trying to get them awake and playing for you guys, but they just, every time I come up here, they're sleeping. Got Lacey eating right now. She's eating her food over there. Jim's been working on the cameras for the patrons and the free cameras, so he's working on that. We had one of them keep getting water in it, even though it's supposed to be waterproof. So he took that down to send that back to be repaired. But the puppies are getting so big, but they're so sleepy. They just don't want to play when I'm up here. They keep coming up.
Oh, look, you got your new pad on.
I do have the new pad. This is.
That looks so comfy.
It's actually really comfy. It's actually really cushy. So we've got the box for their litter area is supposed to be arriving tomorrow, tonight or tomorrow, and then once we have that, we'll design their weaning area, and then as they get to where they're a little more mobile, they're still. They're getting up on their feet a little bit, but they still mostly just squirm.
The texture will help them because the flat sheet is really hard for them to push off of, but the texture should help them. It's a good thing they're not spoiled.
I know.
These guys are so pampered, it's ridiculous.
I love my puppies.
Ridiculous.
You're just jealous because you're not this pampered.
I'm nowhere near this pampered. I can't even avoid having dogs groomed in my house. The camera that we had that we weren't using is now in the pen that you asked me to put the camera in.
Okay.
However, I cannot check the view of it because it's not working on the NVR.
Okay.
So Ashton has a call into Lisa about that, or a text or something, but until it shows up on the NVR, I have no idea how it looks, and I don't know if it's, I can't imagine it showing up on a YouTube anywhere because it's a new
If we
feed.
can't even see it here.
It's a new feed, so. But on the NVR, you'll notice that the two.
I was gonna say it's the one video is down.
Right, video lost, that's the one that I just sent back that was all wet. But the other two say no resource. One of them, I know the camera is working and it's on the YouTube, and the other one is the one I just plugged in.
Okay. I myself have very little to do with the camera, so.
So no resource is different than video loss. No resource means that it's there and it's working. You just can't see it.
Do you want to come in the box and sit with me? It's
No.
much more comfortable than hanging over like
I'm
that.
Sure, but who am I paying here?
That one is either Joey or Chandler. I can't.
Well, I could have told you that.
It's Chandler.
Okay. They all look the same to me.
Now you got me confused. Actually, I think it's Joey.
Hmm?
No, I was right. It's Chandler. Sorry, Joey. Did I move you? They are all so close in size right now. Like, you know, when they were little and... Hi! They're still all in here. When they were little, that, you know, 200-gram difference was such a big difference. But now it's like it doesn't even matter. They're just all like the exact same size. It's all the exact same size.
I am shaky hungry. I know Coulter had a bunch of stuff that he was bringing back for food-wise.
There's barbecue chicken in the crock pot with those rolls. Okay. I was hoping to, it's got water in there, and I was hoping to shred it and mix it, but if you just want to take the chicken out and put more barbecue sauce on it, you can do that too.
What is Chandler doing?
Yeah. Joanne says Jim's gonna want one now. Yeah, Joanne, you can think that, but you just because there's puppies doesn't make a non-dog person a dog person. That's just not the way it works. Just not the way it works.
She does not understand my stubbornness.
Huh.
What is he doing?
I just don't know what he's doing. He's getting all excited about the carpet.
Noticed that this
like,
is different.
Oh, we have
He's
carpet.
Like, wait a minute. What is this?
We have a pad. These are puppy pads. I don't know what he's...
A twin. You sure that's not Joey?
Yeah, no, that's Chandler. He threw me off because when he was sleeping on his side, his white on the top got all shrunk down. But that's Chandler.
So Chandler has the big complete collar.
Yes.
Who's that?
This one's Phoebe. Phoebe's got the little speck.
Oh.
She's got the spot. The boys are darker too, which is the older they get, the less obvious that's becoming.
Yeah.
But yeah, his is really wide around. Joey's is narrower up here and not as wide there.
Joey's right shoulder and this one's left shoulder.
No. Rachel goes to her right shoulder. Monica goes to her left shoulder.
Okay.
Theirs doesn't go all the way.
Right. Okay. Rachel right, Monica left.
Right. April says they're so cute. What are the benefits of crossbreeding the two? So both the Great Pyrenees and the Bernese Mountain Dog are known as gentle giants. They are wonderful, wonderful dogs. The Great Pyrenees, the big white fluffy ones, are what their mom is, Lacey, are livestock guardian dogs. So they are bred to protect animals. They're wonderful also at protecting humans, by the way. But they have a guarding instinct of a couple square miles, and that makes them prone to wander. It makes them prone to climb fences and wander because they think they're guarding it, and it's their territory. The Bernese Mountain Dog are a general farm dog. They are wonderful people, family dogs. The Pyrenees is very independent but loves people. The Bernese is not as independent, can be, but not, will spend more time attached to people a little more than the Pyrenees will. But the Bernese don't have as long lifespans. So when you cross the two of them, you increase the lifespan of the Bernese and you take the wander out of the Pyrenees. And so if you have a farm, they're incredible with animals, but they, if you have a family, they're just such good dogs with children. They're so protective, in a good way, not in a bad way. Like, you don't have any trouble letting people in your house, but if they sense something, because they have just that great instinct, then they'll protect. But they're just lovable. They just love on people. So. Really wish you guys would wake up. Lacey came in and there's a door there. You can see the little space there. And Creighton opened that door and she walked on the new flooring and walked out. She was like so not impressed. She was like, oh, whatever.
She's sleeping right over here.
Janice says, I can't understand how anyone couldn't be a dog person. I totally get it, right? Dogs lick you, they lick gross things, it's not that Jim's not an animal person, he's just not a dog person. Most of them jump on you, and no, I totally get it. I don't mind. What?
Sniff your crotch.
He says they sniff your crotch.
Some of them slobber. Most of them shed.
He says they slobber, they shed. There's a lot of yucky things about dogs. Those of us who love dogs just overlook those things. Those of us who do not are bothered by those things. Nope, there's no tricolors in here. Tricolors are fairly rare for the cross. A lot of times if you want a tricolor, you have to breed a Great Bernese, so the half of the 50-50 mix, back to a full Bernese. Not always. You can get a tricolor in a first generation cross, but usually it's more people breed the Bernese back to the...
Their tails don't count?
What?
Their tails and their ears don't count?
No, that's not... much more of the Bernese coloring. Yeah. So it's much less likely in the first generation cross. Their eyes are open already. Usually it averages about 14, like 10 to 14 days. They just opened it, I think, 12 and 13. So Bob and Darlene asked, do they need to be trained in guarding? So the Great Pyrenees, so it depends on what you mean by guarding, okay? The Great Pyrenees, if you're talking livestock or if you're talking people. If you're talking livestock, the Great Pyrenees get their full guarding instinct at 2 years of age. So up until 2 years of age, they can have difficulty with that. You can help them to establish their guarding ability by having them in with working dogs that already know what they're doing, that will help train the puppy, but it's not something that you want to just leave them alone and let them be. But you don't have to teach them how to train, how to protect, how to guard your livestock. That is just all genetically available. If you are teaching them to guard, and people will say that the more obedience training you give, the less that natural instinct takes place. I don't know that I 100% agree or disagree with that, but I know that a lot of people have that opinion that if you're teaching the LGDs to sit and stay and come and all of that, then you're kind of taking out some of their independent instinct. I think that for most people that have livestock, for most of us, you're dealing with things like other domestic dogs, and you're dealing with maybe some coyotes, maybe some fox, things like that. I personally don't think the obedience training hurts them in that instance. I think if you're out there and you're, in the West and you're defending against, I guess you don't have, there's bears on the East Coast too. But if you're guarding against bears and mountain lions and, and things of that are much more difficult, I don't know that you'd want to do a ton of obedience training with them. Growling. You ready to wake up? Huh? No, I'm not keeping them all. In fact, 4 of them are already sold. That one's Rachel over there. That's Rachel. And Joey's not in the corner, so it's Joey right here by me. That one's Joey. Near you. yawn. What a big yawn. Snuffle, snuffle. You could wake up. Alright, should we go back to looking at comments again? What do you think? You waking up, you're gonna go back to sleep. That's kind of what I thought. Yeah, Jade weighed them this morning. Everybody's gaining weight well. I don't know what they are, though. I haven't entered them in the computer yet. Joanne says, who is still available? There is a female still available. People don't choose puppies until they're about 6 weeks old, because choosing a puppy at this age is... There's very little reason to choose a puppy at this age. Right? Because you're not even showing us who you really are yet. You're not even showing us who you are. Mm-hmm. Rachel's all twitchy. How do I tell them apart? I tell them apart by the whites on the back of their heads. That's how I tell them apart. When they're close together, their coloring is different, but that's hard to tell just looking at them by themselves. And Rachel was getting really redder there for a while, but it's much less obvious now. She and Phoebe are actually really close, and Monica's almost getting darker, looking like the boys. So so by that white on the back is how I tell them apart. Ah, you knocked the camera. Oh, you're gonna lie down on your belly? Alright, that one's rolling over. Okay, you can lie down on your belly. You can roll over if you want. Spending time with puppies and socializing them and their early neurological stimulation and all of that is a massively important part of them developing into the dogs that they could be. It's so important. So important. So important. Right? And playing with their paws and their ears and their tails. Puppies already have their appointment scheduled with the vet. I think it's 6 weeks, and they get their worming and first set of shots then. With that, I would never send a puppy home that wasn't fully checked out by a vet. Emma says, I'm totally jealous of you, PJ. I have a pretty darn good life. It's stressful at times. I mean, this isn't all I do. I sit here and play with animals. My blood pressure would be a lot better if that was all I did. I'm not complaining. Oh, big yawn. Oh, big yawn. Where's Mama? Lacey! Here she is. She's over there. Moving it asleep and just bonked its head. Bob and Darlene says, you wonder what purpose God has for dogs to dream. I always believe, I don't know about the dream, but all the moving and the twitching I always think is good for their muscle development and helps them be stronger and right? There's no milk in that finger. Are you waking up yet? And says, love how you lovingly socialize the puppies. They will be such calm dogs. That is the goal. I'm gonna lick my pants. Not gonna get any milk out of there either. You wanna wake up? They're so sleepy. They're growing so well. It takes sleep to grow that well, doesn't it? Oh. There you go, Miss Chunky. Come on, Miss Rachel. Your turn. Your turn. Say hi to everybody. You liking that pad there, Phoebes? Yeah, I think everybody would be a lot happier if socializing puppies was a part of their day. I definitely think so. Baby goats too. Baby goats are fun to socialize also. It says, wondering if their ears are open yet. I haven't seen any evidence of that. Not yet. This is, they love the ledge. Yeah. I guess it makes them feel secure. So it says, when I got my black lab as a puppy, the vet told me to play with their paws a lot. It will be much easier to cut their nails. Yep. You know, you have until 12 weeks for all the easy training, right? Up to 12 weeks, you can do anything with them and get them used to anything and expose them to anything, and they'll accept it. And then after 12 weeks, everything gets harder. After 12 weeks, if you introduce them to, you know, the sound of a motorcycle, getting them used to that would be a whole lot harder. If you want a dog to be, you know, happily a swimmer, you know, introduce them to water before 12 weeks. It'll be a whole lot better. Now, you can work with them after 12 weeks. I'm not saying that they're ruined if you don't do it by 12 weeks. You absolutely can, but it takes a lot more effort. It's just not as easy after that 12-week period. Just not as easy. I love the upside down. Silly puppy. So yeah, I keep trying to catch them wide awake and playful for you guys, but they pretty much just go from sleeping to nursing back to sleeping again right now. Lisa says, do you have a favorite puppy? Yes and no, if that makes sense. I would tell you Phoebe, but not for any real particular reason other than that she's the biggest one, and so I tend to like the big ones. I don't have a really good reason yet in their personalities. All right, I like, you know, all dogs have different personalities, and there's a family, a person for every personality out there. So until they really start showing their personalities, it's hard for me to say. Kathy's 14-year-old dog is up. They're hearing the puppies. Who is that on their back? I'm thinking that's Chandler over there in the corner. I didn't see them swap positions. Yeah, they all have white boots. Yep. Oh, who's this right here? This is Joey right here on his back right here. That was Chandler over there in the corner, I'm pretty sure. Because do you know when you're going to start feeding them, at what age? Yeah, next week sometime. They tomorrow starts their 3rd week. Their eyes are open. They need to move a little bit better, and they're still gaining weight really well. So I'm not in a super rush, but sometime during next week we'll introduce milk and raw meat to them. Lacey's doing great. She's just chillaxing over there. She was at the house this afternoon. She and Beckett came to visit me at the house this afternoon in Landon. Yeah, both their eyes and ears are closed at birth, Kathy. All right, Miss Rachel. Ugh. I think I'm gonna switch positions because there's no way I'm gonna reach that puppy all by myself. Rachel likes to climb on people, and you can see there a little bit how she's just a little bit redder. Okay, I was wrong. This one's Chandler here, so that must be Monica in the corner. Must be Monica. Hi. They just don't want to wake up. I'm sorry, guys. I keep trying for you. Yeah, I'm not in a rush to, you know, they're still growing. They don't need. She's not rejecting them at all. So I'm in no rush for them on solid food, but usually toward the end of week 3. Nobody puts Monica in the corner. Monica put herself in the corner. Didn't she, Chandler? Oh, big yawn. Yep, so tomorrow they get their puppy pictures. They get their pictures taken as individuals every Thursday. Where are you going? Hmm? What you doing with that head there, Missy? It's too heavy to hold up. It's your turn on my lap in a minute. That yawn knocked you over. Upside down. There's an eyeball. There's an eyeball for you to see. Bob and Arlene says, so their noses have to really work if they can't see or hear. Yeah, that's how they find Mom. It's all sense of smell. No, I'm not trying to wake them up, Janet. I'm not trying to wake them up at all, actually. They're puppies, and if they're sleeping, they need their sleep. I'm just trying to catch them when they're awake. Lisa says, so are you secretly hoping that maybe one doesn't sell so you can keep one? I have taken 4 deposits, and I'm not going to take a 5th deposit for right now. I've decided to do that for a couple of reasons. One, because I may end up keeping one, and 2, because like I said, they don't go to the vet until they're 6 weeks old, and I just want to make sure, I don't think there's any problems with any of them. They all look and act perfectly healthy and are gaining weight and doing all of that, but if anybody has a heart murmur or anything like that, I'd feel better not having 5 full deposits, so I'm taking backup deposits on that. But yeah, I'm still, I've said all along that I'd agree to put them all up, but this was the whole purpose of what I wanted was Great Bernese, so we'll see. Cagney came into heat in January, which means she should come into heat again in about July, which means September babies, if she gets bred, which she didn't get bred the first time, which is not that unusual, but you can't guarantee she'll get bred, which would put puppies going home in November, so that would be the 2nd litter. And then of course we bred Beckett, and I don't know what she's gonna do. She goes for an ultrasound June 16th, I think, something like that. I've not exposed Landon to the puppies yet. He's still a bit too young to be all that attentive. And he's not going to just sit down and get enjoyment from having a puppy on his lap or anything. So I'll introduce the puppies to him probably when they're about 4 to 6 weeks old. We'll see how they do, how he does. Being around little kids, you want puppies to socialize with all ages, old people, young people, boys, girls, men, women. Puppies tend to struggle sometimes with men. It's harder for them. They don't get enough male interaction. And so, unfortunately, I have a lot of men folk, don't I? Don't I, Monica? barking? Are you barking? Athena says I sound tired. Number one, I'm talking a little softly because the puppies are sleeping, and that's just what I just naturally do. But I am tired. My sleep schedule has been way off for a very long time. So I didn't get to bed till about 1 last night and slept till 10, which is not how I like to live, but most of you know I've said it many, many times. I need about 9 hours of sleep to function well, and when I don't get them, it takes me a while to get caught back up. Doesn't it, Monica? Doesn't it? You're literally gonna crawl right off my lap? Is that what you're gonna do? Alright, well, I'm gonna sign off. Sorry they didn't wake up and have fun. I'm gonna try again tomorrow, and one of these days they'll be all happy and energetic for you. Just not today. Not today. About how many times daily do they nurse? That's a good question. When they're very little, it's every 2 hours. Now they're probably down to more like every 3 to 4 hours. All right, say goodbye, Monica. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. You need to eat my hair. You need my sweatshirt. Say goodbye.